And hello from this MG ZR 120 called Benny. And today we're going to find out just how fast an MG ZR 120 can manage in the yard. There's the end of the yard. Obviously I've got to either slow down or stop at the end. This looks like a highly irresponsible and stupid challenge, but don't worry, nobody's going to get hurt. What I'm trying to do is free up this caliper, because it might be just that's a bit stiff, that is. So by turning the wheel quickly, hopefully, yeah, it's not too hot back now. So now it is sticky brake caliper investigation time, because it is very sticky indeed, as sticky as Alan Golder's fingers. Well, I'm confused now. Just a quick spray of the old WD-40 and loosen up these nuts here, and it's freed up for dinner time. Binley's mega chippy, anyone? I'm not going to go down that route. Apparently all I need to do is mention Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and Binley's mega chippy, and my video will go viral, or they'll get more attention because of me. That is really odd, but I'm not complaining. Now for the test of spinning around freely there. Okay, I think it's safe to say I haven't actually fixed it after all. As soon as I apply the brake, it goes stiff again. I was hoping for a really nice, easy fix there as well. Well, honestly, as soon as I put that wheel back on, I did consider that maybe the moment to touch the brake, it would just stick back on again. So that was worthwhile doing. I've got a better diagnosis now anyway. The question is, what freed this up in the first place? Was it that little gentle tap with the hammer? Let's find out. Ooh! Nope. That's much better. I think this car might be ready for MOT. treat, I've jumped into Nigel to do the school run. Yeah, it's a treat for me. I don't know if it's a treat for anybody else. Maybe it'll be a treat for all of the parents, I don't know, to see this lovely piece of machinery amongst their non-exciting cars. Most of these cars are as exciting as the traffic jam they're in. What is exciting though is Benny, the ZR Benny Jazz Max. I'm sure that is MOT ready. It feels like it, sounds like it. What a fantastic sounding engine that is. What a fantastic feeling car. Yes, I quite like to drive that one myself for sure. You may well have got a glimpse of Senior Mustard there, working on Michael Jaskson, the Rover 25. Yes, doing a compression test, and the compression test showed an extremely high compression, up to 250 on one of the cylinders. That's about 16 bar, I believe, and the other three were above as well, quite a bit above. So I'm not sure why that is the case, but I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing either. At least there's some progression going on in the yard today. I wonder what I should call this video. Part 2 of the Michael and Benny story. Benny's farty trumpet. The Jaskson 4-cylinder head issue. Another lovely day down at Project Nigel headquarters. Have yourself another cup of tea, sir. Yes, there are so many potential titles for this video, but by the time you see it I will have already chosen the incorrect one. There's an interesting point. I used the word incorrect when I meant wrong. Usually what happens is people use the word wrong when they mean incorrect. I've got a rant. I've been avoiding doing this one for a little while, but I think it's time I did it now. Anyone who drives a car or a van or anything like that should be able to drive properly. We all know that. You have to have passed the test in order to do it. And obviously there are those people that completely ignore everything they learn whilst learning to drive and then just become nutters once they've got a license. But then there are those people who are professional drivers, van drivers, lorry drivers, ambulance drivers, police drivers even. And they are all up to a different standard altogether. You have to drive better than what you would be expected to do otherwise. So, where do minicab drivers fit in this? Minicab drivers basically just seem to think they're okay to stop wherever they like, just so long as they've got a person getting in and out. But I can't really see how that is really a good excuse. If a van driver does that, people will complain. Yeah, the van driver has to carry things in and out of his van. Some of that stuff may be heavy, so he's got to get as close to where he's going to as possible for reasons such as, you know, the amount of energy it's going to use up. Whereas a minicab driver, it's self-loading, it's carrying people around. Those people can walk 10 feet or 20 feet and it shouldn't really be a problem. And there is that argument about this, well, I'm only stopping for 20 seconds, I'm only stopping for 30 seconds, what difference does it make? Well, if you're holding everybody up for 30 seconds, that's an awful lot of 30 seconds that you're costing people. You stop for 30 seconds and there are 10 cars being inconvenienced by you, then that is effectively 5 minutes worth of time being used up, so you can save 30 seconds. It's just stupid. There is no way a professional driver would be taught how to do that or taught to do that, because it's just unprofessional. When I was a lorry driver, I'd occasionally have an instance where I had to back around a corner, and that would possibly cost other motorists 30 seconds, while I negotiated a large wagon that can do a lot of damage carefully round a corner. And yet people would be impatient. And the kind of people that would be impatient are probably the kind of people... I haven't finished. I don't understand why minicabs are allowed in bus lanes. I can understand the priority of public transport, because you've got a bus, you've got loads of people on it. It's transporting loads of people at one point. A minicab is not even going to be transporting the maximum amount of people you can carry in a car, because you've got the driver, and the driver's only purpose is to take these people that haven't got their own car or what have you to the place they want to go to. How can the journey of 4 people be more important than the journey of 5? Is it because they need a man to carry them somewhere? Is it because they don't drive there themselves but choose instead to go around in a knackered old Toyota? Obviously there are instances where the minicab may be taking someone somewhere that nobody else wants to take. But it's a bit of a weak example, that though, isn't it? Because most of the time you'll see in a bus lane a minicab driver driving by himself. I'm not saying that I think people in cars should be allowed in the bus lane. No, I just don't think minicabs should be. I think that's completely against the idea of the bus lane in the first place. Ah, yes. Support our lifeboaties. A first for Michael Jaskson, being on the back of transit face. Up here, you can get a better idea of the condition of the sills as well. Very handy. Solid. 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 Time to go. When I turn around on this roundabout here, I often get people wanting to run into the side of it, so at least in this I can deploy at the beacon and see if that makes any difference. Almost didn't. So here I am again on the road on another long distance trip to go and deliver a car. Except of course it's not a long distance trip at all, it's just a couple of miles away. This is Senior Mustard's car, and he was going to be doing the job at my place, but he's more likely to crack on with it at home rather than having to keep coming down to where I work all the time. So that's where he's going. Another one of those bell ends in a Golf I'd quite like to catch up and see in a tree. The black Golf way ahead there, you can't see it, overtook 3 cars to go through a red light. This is judgmental of me, but speaking from experience, people who drive those cars like that are not going anywhere that important. No. In fact, the service they are providing to the community is not one that we could do with, if you know what I mean. I'm happy to be judgmental about certain things. I mean, sometimes you will be wrong by being judgmental, but the point of being judgmental is that the majority of the time, actually you're not. And if you decide not to be judgmental, just in case you're wrong, then more and more people will get away with their misdemeanors anyway. So it's kind of a for the better good situation. For the better good. Oh, by the way, back on this minicab issue, well, people complain about cyclists all the time, and as far as I see it, cyclists are out riding and doing themselves some good, whereas my issue with the minicab driver and its passengers is exactly the opposite. They're using up your time by being lazy. At least cyclists are using up your time by keeping fit. Yeah. I'm so hungry. Why do people think I'm always eating? Because I'm really not. I'm always hungry because I get kind of hungry and then I end up doing something and I get distracted, and before I know it, another hour or two's gone by, or we're not having anything to eat, and then I'm super hungry, and then I start talking about being hungry. And once you're really hungry, you can think of all the different kinds of food you really enjoy eating. And you do think about it. I was just looking at a field full of cows then, but it had some horses as well. And then you wonder whether they get mixed up at all. It's got me thinking about dogs. Are dogs ever adventurous? The dog is copulate human style. Somebody must have asked that silly question before. If there are no cars in the garage, might not need to use the roundabouts. And there's not. How about that? Come on.